Going just off of memory, Sacred Heart, I believe around 4:10 right now. St. X at 398 and well out in front by over a triple-digit lead over Covington Catholic.
And if they finish in one of the top couple spots here, you would expect they'd wind up just around that 410 to 420 range, which means an equally impressive performance from each side. We're back in a relay scenario, so
going up and back 8 times, so we'll be 4 swimmers from each school.
They'll each
and
do
100 meters.
That's right.
Yeah. 100 yards, excuse
That's
me.
exactly
I knew
right,
it was going to happen at some point. It might as well come in during the last event.
It's been a long 2 days, so it's okay for that to happen on occasion. Again, you'll watch some of the swimmers are going to start at the very back of the block. They've got to time it perfectly, and you'll see a couple of judges with blue blazers on watching. You'll see their head kind of nod up and down. They're looking down to the water to make sure the hand is touched. They're looking up at the feet of the person on the block to make sure those feet have not left before the hand touches. And in an effort to do that, some swimmers aren't great at that walk-up start. It's hard to time that sometimes, although it gives you a little bit more momentum jumping into the water. Sometimes a coach will instruct you to stand with both feet with your toes curled over the front edge. You extend your arms outward and make an imaginary line at the tip of your fingers. When your teammate crosses that line, you start to rotate them backwards, and then by the time they touch the wall, you are propelling yourself forward, and that's a way to be a little bit more safe with your relay start.
Bowling Green out in front at the moment, and lane 5 followed closely by Henry Clay.
This was a really tight bunch in the consolation final from qualifying times yesterday. Henry Clay qualified with a 3:21.59, followed closely by Bowling Green with a 3:21.72, and then you had a couple 3:22s and 23s in there. This could be a very fun race towards the end here as well.
This time it's Henry Clay 1, Bowling Green 2, and Collegiate 3. Collegiate's held steady at that 3rd spot.
And like we said, this race especially, it's important the way that you structure things because there's a little bit more distance involved as far as the race itself. So it's not like swimming 450s in the 200 where it's limited opportunity there. This is a scenario where if you've got your fastest guy on the anchor, he's got a lot more time to make up any ground. So the closer you can keep it if you're a little bit behind, the more heroic something has an opportunity of being with your anchor leg. And there's some pretty good distance there in the middle of the pool.
In control, Henry Clay in lane 4.
And they posted, remember, a 3:21 yesterday. They are going to be well under that here today with a 3:16.76.
Wow,
somebody's smiling big.
Well into qualifying yesterday.
And sometimes
Woodford County and Bowling Green go 2-3.
You just can't predict that that's going to happen. Sometimes guys just have an inspired swim. It's the very last race of the day, and for some of those kids, they might be a senior. That might be the last time they're going to swim competitively, and they just came out and rocked it.
And the girls meet this morning. We saw Sacred Heart finish it off with an exclamation point. Now St. Xavier looking to follow suit. However, Covington Catholic had the best in qualifying at 3:08. A good few seconds, about 3 seconds ahead of St. Xavier. In lane 1, it'll be Paul Lawrence Dunbar. In lane 2, Tate's Creek. Lane 3 will be occupied by the Trinity Shamrocks. Cov Cath will be at 4. St. Xavier in lane 5 with Manual in 6. Christian Academy out of Louisville in lane 7. And in lane 8 will be Lafayette.
You touched on the fact that the middle of the pool is going to feature the best rivalry in the state, which is Cov Cath St. X. This is an opportunity right now for Covington Catholic. They're going to lose the war, okay? They're not going to win the state championship as a team this year. This is going to be winning the battle right here if they can make it happen.
To show a little resolve.
But it's not just about beating St. X next to them in this race. This relay has got the oldest record in the state of Kentucky. It's stood since 1994. It was a group of guys from St. X with a 3:07.99. That has stood almost 20 full years in a very, very fast state for swimming. When you do the math right now, Covcath qualified yesterday with a 3:08.75. Two things to watch for here. St. X stepping up to the plate and swimming a little bit faster than they did yesterday because they're about to capitalize on a state championship, and it's their heated rival Covcath next to them. The other thing to watch is Covington Catholic not only trying to win a state championship, but knock St. X off as a 20-year nearly record holder in the event and really put a stamp that you would expect would last for another few years.
In lane 4 will be Covington Catholic. Lane 5 is St. X.
This is another one of those races. It's the last one of the day, but it's super exciting. It should fluctuate a little bit, and it'll be interesting to see how the two main relays in the middle stack this. Are they going to put their best foot forward first, or are they going to try to really bring it home towards the end? But everybody's on their feet.
Final event, final heat of the day and of the season. And St. X comes out hot in lane 5 with the first touch. In lane 6, Manuel strong as well as they look to be at an early lead.
The great thing that you'll notice around the pool deck today, I just want to touch on this real quick while we wrap up. Everybody knows each other, and they can all appreciate what the other one has done. You'll see a lot of hugs, high fives, congratulations. These guys are trying to beat one another, but they all really like each other.
It's still Manuel, but now St. X and Covcath are making a push. In lane 7, Christian Academy holding on tight as well.
Our coach at Model, Tim Cahill, used to always say this is where the horses swim. So you're going to see some real thoroughbreds towards the end of the day here.
Now on the second leg of this 400-yard free relay. Again, Manuel holding on to that top position.
And Manuel may be swimming this race the way we talked about earlier, where you kind of swim your fastest swimmers at the front, try to get them some clean water, and just see how long you can hold on to that lead. And maybe, just maybe, you hold on long enough with some inspired swimming towards the end to hold on to a state championship victory. But I've got news for you. St. X and Covcath have got two incredibly fast swimmers about to hit the pool.
Halfway home, and it's Manuel at 1:34.18. 1:34.48 for St. X, and Covcath 1:34.95.
People are starting to get on their feet a little bit more, jumping up and down a little bit. You're going to see a lot more splashing, violently fast turns, finishing hard. Everybody's jumping up and down a little bit. And we're going to have Williamson from Covcath anchoring this relay. Expect something incredibly special here.
And now it's St. Xavier with the first one to touch. Manuel, then Covcath, holding steady in that top three. It's been very tight among them. The Tigers still in the lead in lane 4. To their left is Manuel, to their right Covcath. Now the anchors are in the water.
Based on where they just touched the wall right there at 2:21 and 2:22, it's going to be hard to do, but they're going to be right around record pace. I'd expect a 3:08. Or maybe just right under that would be the state record. And look at Covcath and Williamson. He is on fire. He could swim a split around a 45 or 44 and really get this record done.
For the first time, Covcath touches first, followed by St. X and Manuel. Williamson firing his way to the back wall.
Big turn, and he's got to be back in about 12 seconds. That's well within his ability.
Williamson down the home stretch. Covcath in blue on their feet. Comes in, it's Covington Catholic, 3:06.59, and a state record falls.
A 19-year-old state record falls. Wow. Previous record again of 3:07.99. They just came in at a 3:06.59. That's 1.2 seconds ahead of a 19-year-old record. They've got to be thrilled with themselves, and the theme of the day, as we've talked about, All-American automatic time was a 3:07.94. They were well under that as well.
Still, it'll be the 49th state championship for St. X, and now have finished off a quarter-century consecutive the state championship wins. Unbelievable. So Cub Cath with the big win in the 400 free relay, and then, of course, St. Xavier with the win, as I mentioned a moment ago. Now, a quarter of a century consecutive, 25 state titles. And again, congratulations to the Tigers. Congratulations to Sacred Heart as well.
Well, this is usually the point in a broadcast where I'll talk about a couple individual performances that I really felt good about throughout this entire meet. I'm not going to do that today because the entire meet, everybody deserves a round of applause. It was deep, it was fast, and everybody really showed up and proved that Kentucky is one of the top states for swimming in the nation.
Well, Ryan, it was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
My friend, thank you
Same
so
here.
much. That's former All-American at Model High School, Ryan Moser. Again, thank you to everybody across the state, everybody here in Louisville that has made this such a terrific venue for our entire crew here from myhigh.com. For Ryan Moser, this is Will Chambers signing off from the Ralph Wright Natatorium here on the campus of the University of Louisville. You've been watching coverage of the 2013